What is going on? NoDQ.com Galaxy. Big G here. I'm here today with Cindy G.
So
The G's are in the house. We are here today to do NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4 predictions this coming Saturday on the WWE Network. And we have 5 matches scheduled for this pay-per-view. So before we start, Cindy, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing pretty good so far, despite the fact that I am now dubbed as the worst wrestling trivia challenge in history with a 0 to 10 points, but it's whatever. I just hope there's going to be any female contenders that's going to take on the current wrestling trivia champion. But anywho, let's now talk about how I feel about NXT. So far, I'm actually looking forward to some of the matches so far. As always, I'm actually looking forward to this than any other WWE pay-per-view so far. I mean, with the build-up that is going on with SummerSlam, I feel that Brooklyn 4 is going to take it out of the park as well.
Yes, absolutely. As we all know, the NXT takeovers always outshine the pay-per-views the night after. So we'll see how Brooklyn does, and then we'll see how SummerSlam does, and we'll talk about that later. So the first match we can discuss is a singles match, EC3 versus the Velveteen Dream. Cindy, I'll start off with you, and then we'll go to me.
Okay, so I'm actually looking forward to this particular match, especially I've been following EC3 since he was Derek Bateman, when NXT used to be somewhat of a game show before they kind of merged into kind of like a C-rated show, until they kind of like merge it into kind of like their own like networking show, like combining with like the schooling going on. But then again, when EC3 left, that's when he started doing better, when he was in Impact Wrestling as Ethan Carter III, and then of course EC3 for short. But then again, he was pretty much the most dominating heel of all time, especially being the true 1%er of all. So I'm actually really looking forward to this match. And for Velveteen Dream, any match that he come to with, it's always going to be the best. I mean, I've seen his match against Chris Dijak as previous NXT episode, and boy, you know how he can take anybody in all shapes and sizes. So, for my pick, and I feel that this is going to be the opener of the match, I'm going to have to go with Velveteen Dream to win this match. And we'll talk about the called-ups in a bit. So, let's go ahead and who your pick, Jeff?
Well, like you said, this will be a very good match. Velveteen Dream always delivers, whether he wins or loses, and I believe he lost at the last takeover. And EC3, he's been doing pretty good. He's had his matches on NXT here and there. He recently won against Kona Reeves, and this feud all began back in England at the Royal Albert Hall, when I believe they were in a tag team match, and Velveteen Dream walked away, and EC3 was upset about that. But I'm gonna have to go with my boy from MCW, the Velveteen Dream. I think both guys really need the win, but I think Velveteen needs it even more. Like you said, we'll talk about the call-ups later, but yeah. So I'm going with Dream, and you're going with Velveteen Dream as well. Awesome. All right, so the next match that is up for discussion is for the NXT North American Championship. We have the one and only Ricochet versus Adam Cole, baby. So, I think this will be also a really good match. We have Adam Cole, who's been a decent champion. He's defended it on NXT television here and there. Both men were in the ladder match for the inaugural NXT North American Championship a while back. Ricochet, could he use the title? Possibly. Adam Cole, I mean, he can keep it on him for a while. but I'm going with Ricochet to win his first NXT title and have a dominant run with it. What about you, Cindy?
Well, I mean, this is one of the hardest pick I have to choose from. I mean, you have both guys with outstanding storyline that's been going on with Adam Cole being the leader of Undisputed Era, especially helping Roderick and Kyle like trying to interview some of the tag team matches, especially with Undisputed Era retaining these titles, which we'll get into that later when we discuss the NXT Tag Team titles. So overall, him being a North American champion, he is having like a pretty decent run so far. I mean, his match against Danny Burch, of course, it was just like, you know, your standard NXT episode, but hey, he can outtake anybody. And regarding Ricochet, I mean, he did have like a injury scare that we all expected, that how long it's going to be out and all that, but it was just like a minor injury so far. But with his high-flying skill and his technicality going on, I mean, he is the real Ricochet, of course. But for my pick, and I feel that having a title on Ricochet is too soon. I would have to wait a little bit longer for that. So for my pick, it's going to be it's Adam Cole to retain the title and have him hold on to the title. Probably for War Games, too. So I'm going to have to go with Adam Cole, baby.
All right, so we got different picks on that one. That's good. All right, so the next three matches are title matches. First, we'll start off with the NXT Women's title, which is the champion, my girl, the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, versus the Pirate Princess, Kairi Sane. So, they first met at the Mae Young Classic back last year, and Kairi won. And I'm not too sure if they had a match in between, but I think this will be a good fight, and hopefully a good match. Shayna will be dominant as usual. Kairi will probably have some offense in there. But I'm sticking with my girl, Shayna Baszler, to retain the NXT Women's Championship and continue her reign as Queen of Spades. Cindy, your thoughts?
Well, with what's going on with the Mae Young Classic, it's been over a year since Kairi and Shayna have been stepping into the ring and having a match together. And I feel that they did have a match like in between one of the NXT episodes where, of course, Shayna Baszler did beat Kairi with her submission hold. Like, she could definitely put everybody to sleep. I mean, we've seen the last Takeover match against Nikki Cross. Like, holy crap. Anywho, both ladies very dominant, especially with Shayna Baszler having her MMA background and how she's not afraid to like put anybody to sleep. And with Kairi Sane, I mean, she is one of the top baby faces in NXT so far. Like her, Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, and I think I'm going to have to say one more babyface that's in the NXT roster, probably Aaliyah, even though she's like an in-betweener. So far, I feel that with this match, we need to have like someone that can hold on to the title for a long time. Especially we do have like more heels in the NXT Women's division, like Lacey Evans to Vanessa Bourne, Bianca Belair, Reina Gonzalez, Tanara Kani, and etc., and etc. So for my pick, and I feel that it's time for a new champion to be crowned, especially someone that won the Mae Young Classic last year, my pick is going to be Kairi Sane to win.
Okay, cool. I don't know if you realize, but all the champions in NXT right now are all heels.
Yep. Well, except,
because Adam Cole, Undisputed Era, Shayna, and Ciampa.
Yep.
So, the next match is for the NXT Tag Team Championships. We have Mustache Mountain versus the Undisputed Era. So, their first match was at Royal Albert Hall in England, and Mustache Mountain got their first taste of gold. Well, at least Trent Seven did. Tyler Bate was the NXT UK champion for a while. And their rematch on NXT, we saw Tyler Bate throw in the towel because Trent Seven was in so much pain. And by that happening, Undisputed Era regained their tag team titles. So we're in Brooklyn. This match, you're going to have people cheering for Undisputed Era. You're going to have people chanting for Mustache Mountain. I think this will be another match of the night. And I'm going with my boys, Mustache Mountain, to regain the NXT Tag Team titles. Cindy, your thoughts?
Well, this is a pretty interesting storyline that I've been following up since the WWE UK tournament, where Mustache Mountain did beat Undisputed Era for the titles. And then later on NXT, that they had to lose the match against Undisputed Era to regain the title so far. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a one outstanding match, especially with both teams going at it against each other. So for my pick, because I feel that we're probably going to see Undisputed Era continuing on with other tag team feuds, possibly leading off to War Game, my pick is going to be Mustache Mountain to win the NXT Tag Team titles.
Cool. Good pick. So we actually agreed on that one this time. All right. So this will probably be the main event of the evening, like it has been the past two NXTs. This is by far the feud of the year for 2018.
Agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the last man standing match, we have the challenger, Mr. Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, versus the best heel in WWE today, the Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa. Whew, man. So, their last two fights, Johnny won, and then this previous one at Money in the Bank Takeover, Ciampa won.
Yep.
Man, oh man, what can I say about this match? This match will be in the ring, outside the ring, out in the arena again, in the crowd. I don't know how they're going to top it from their last match.
And more cussing.
I thought about this all day, and I really don't know who to choose. I know Ciampa just won it, but to end the feud, I think I'm going with my gut here, my heart, that Johnny Gargano will win the NXT Championship finally, get his moment of glory. That way he knows who he finally is, Johnny Wrestling. Man, I could go on and on about this. But Cindy, let's go to you. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm glad it's just going to be Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa for the title. I mean, as you guys know, originally it was supposed to be a triple threat match between Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, and Aleister Black, since Tommaso did defeated Aleister Black on previous episode of NXT, and he won the NXT champion title. And then again, if you guys heard that Aleister Black did unexpectedly got attacked and he sustained an injury so far, so he's going to be out of action for a while, which we'll talk about the whole call-up about that later on, but we're going to be talking about this outstanding feud of the year. So when I heard it's just going to be Tommaso versus Gargano for the title, I was like, yep, already knew it's going to be the last man standing match. And I don't know how they're going to top it off with these matches. I mean, they put out one hell of a match that they almost killed each other. Like, holy crap. So, how it's going to play out, we're going to have to wait and see to believe it, especially Tommaso Ciampa, who is like the biggest heel in WWE as of this year, and even the most hated of all time. But at least he has, like, no theme music, unlike Dolph Ziggler and his freaking record scratching theme, but whatever. And then you have his Johnny Wrestling, who is, like, the ultimate babyface of NXT, that he is, like, not giving up for a fight. So, for my pick at this match, and I feel like this is going to be a match that's going to end, and that's going to bring a most of a feel-good moment, especially we'll see future competitors. My pick is going to be Johnny Gargano to be the new NXT champion.
Awesome. Alright, so, those were all the matches. We made our predictions. We discussed it before we went on air, Cindy. Did you want to tell the NoDQ.com Galaxy, who do you think possibly will be called up after SummerSlam to the main roster?
Yes. Well, last year we only had like 2 called ups. Like one of them was Bobby Roode, which he was drafted to SmackDown Live, and then you have for the Raw side, which we had to wait for her debut until like the next pay-per-view or so. It was Asuka on the Raw side. So for the SmackDown brand, I feel that we all know that she's going to debut in the main roster, especially she's probably going to reunite with a notable stable, which, of course, it'll be Nikki Cross. But I'm going to throw another person that's going to get called up to the main roster, possibly in the SmackDown side. And that person, we seeing all his amazing matches, his win-loss record, his outstanding charisma. It's going to be Velveteen Dream. So I have a feeling Velveteen Dream is going to do a lot better when he goes drafted to SmackDown Live. But if he get drafted to Raw, he's going to lose in the shuffle. And then for the Raw side, I can think of one person, and this is going to relate to the pick that I choose from the NXT Women's Champion. If Shayna loses the title, I have a feeling she's going to be going drafted to Raw, and then possibly going to be reuniting with Ronda Rousey, her fellow 4 horsewomen of MMA. And so if Shayna and Ronda will be teaming up together, we're possibly going to be seeing an incredible women's tag team that's probably going to lead up to the October pay-per-view, which is Evolution. So for the 3-person that's going to be called up, it's going to be Velveteen Dream, Nikki Cross, and Shayna Baszler. What about you, G?
Oh, man, this is hard. I'm going to go with SmackDown. If Ciampa loses on Sunday or on Saturday, he'll go to SmackDown Live. And for Raw, I want to see Velveteen go to the main roster, but I think it's too soon for him. Man, that's... I'm going to go... You know what? I'm going with the faction. Undisputed Era.
Okay.
Undisputed Era is going to go to Raw, run roughshod on everybody like the Shield did back in the day. And so, those... I did pick Shayna to win or to retain, but if she does lose, I could see her going up to the main roster as well.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why we don't pick Aleister Black, I mean, with the whole storyline about sustaining his injury, which is either a fact or fiction, you know, I feel like it's too soon for him to get called up. We're possibly going to wait for him to get called up possibly after War Games 2. So there may be all the endless possibility that's going on. And also regarding like who's going to be in the audience, like you know how they like to show who's in the surprise appearance audience. We're going to see, of course, Matt Riddle, who was recently signed to NXT. We'll see some of them be a young classic competitor like Deonna Purrazzo, Io Shirai, or Lil, whatever you can call her by. Also, we'll see the returning Caitlyn in the audience as well. What about you, G?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you never really know who's going to show up there until they're there. But the picks you said, I can pretty much agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So NXT Takeover Brooklyn, like we said, at the beginning will dominate the weekend, like always. go ahead if you want to go ahead and do your plugs, and then I'll do mine.
Alrighty, guys. So you guys can follow me at nodq.com/Cindy. That's going to take you directly to Twitter. Also, make sure to follow me at simply_C_OK on Instagram and on my YouTube channel as well. And also, I have a second YouTube channel as well that was devoted to independent wrestling with myself and my buddies for hype videos. Make sure to follow at Tyson. It's spelled Tycin Poppy Production, y'all. And don't forget, in the Bay Area, make sure to grab your ticket for All Pro Wrestling Presents Sucker Free. That will be taking place on August 17th. And guess who's going to be there? None other than your recently fired WWE superstar, James Ellsworth, where he's competing in a 6-man or women intergender tag team match, teaming with Samara and Brittany Wonder versus the King of Sleaze himself, Joey Ryan, along with your 2018 Mae Young Classic competitor, Xia Brookside, and current Impact Knockout star, Shotzi Blackheart. And that is it, y'all.
Awesome. Well, you guys can follow me at nodq.com/Jeff. That'll take you to my Twitter page. I'm on Instagram at nodq_Big G. I'm on Facebook as well. Go to nodq.com/shirts. That'll take you to Pro Wrestling Tees. Get your nodq.com shirts, your Big G shirt, your Cindy shirt. Everybody gets a shirt. You get a shirt. You get a shirt. Check out the latest episode of Wrestling Trivia Challenge with your champion, Greg Cherry. Check out the latest NoDQ review with Aaron, Virtue, Greg, and good old JM Jeff Meacham. The best way to support the site is follow everybody. Follow Aaron's NoDQ page on YouTube, nodq.com, one of the best wrestling websites out there. So for Cindy G, I'm Big G, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Cheers, y'all.